And yes, here we are, Espresso Sesh episode 108, live from Mission District, San Francisco, beautiful Secret Alley. Astu in the house. Welcome.
Thank you.
How you doing? How you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing great. All right. Let's do this. I mean, I have this special effect for the video watcher of the show.
Woo-hoo.
All right. Cool. Okay, Astu. You just released a few days ago your debut EP.
Yes, I did.
It's called Patterns.
Patterns, yes.
Patterns.
So excited.
We're going to go through that record today. We're going to talk about your story, talk about your music.
Cool.
Your project, current project, the promotion of the album and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be great. No, Espresso Sesh. So let's start actually with the music. Let the music speak for itself for now.
Sure.
And let's play the current single of the album.
Yes.
That is called Staycation.
Staycation, yes.
And it's here ready. Check it out, Astu,
Thank you.
BFF.fm. Astu, Staycation.
Yes.
That was a single, alright? So instead of playing that again, let's have some background music here. Alright. So let's talk about this album first.
Cool.
So it's your debut.
Yes.
You've been working with a producer, I don't remember his name, but there's
yes, Dawood Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah, incredible producer. So like he plays every instrument that was on the EP he played, and yeah, he's such a genius. We built a lot of the tracks from vocals, from melodies I already had. So 3 of the tracks I already had written most of the melodies and the lyrics. And so I brought them to him, and he just built it all around it. And it was like such a cool process. Yeah.
Cool. I was reading, you have an interview on your website that you start making music like on your own, like kind of recently, no?
Yes.
Since you moved to Oakland, you start going to open mics and kind of find like some courage to stand up and sing, no? And then like you found that occasion like spiritually elevating, so you kept going, no?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, because I grew up in the church and a Christian, really devout Christian home, and so my whole life I was told, you sing for God, you sing for Jesus, you sing to basically bring people to Christ, and so I understood that there was a holiness to singing and a holiness to music, but it didn't really settle with me quite right, So, but I tried it. I really did. And so once I became a preacher and I did the whole thing, I became a worship leader, and I just was really unhappy. And so I left all of that and came to Oakland. And I started going out to these open mics, and I started seeing like people, like the same passion I would see in church for someone else, for God. I saw the same passion in people for themselves and for the people around them. And I just thought like, wow, I can't believe like I can find this somewhere else, and it was what I was looking for. So at that point, because my whole life I knew it had to be for a purpose. I believed that to be true. Music has to be for a reason because it's so special to me. And so when I saw other people, when I saw the way that they express music and use music, and still it was worship to them, I was like, okay, yes, I can do this. Like this felt right, So at that point I started my own personal music journey, and that was probably about, I'm bad with dates, but I think it was about 3 years ago-ish.
So you set up your like a home studio where you start like, making noise and making tracks and songwriting, no?
Yeah.
Okay. And that like some of these tracks are in your EP, refined and reworked and polished, kind of, no?
So
some of these ideas.
Yes, absolutely. Actually, they were all. I wrote all of them in my home studio, with other, with Dawood's tracks, obviously. But yeah, always at home. I really like. I have to be alone to write, and I actually said this to the interview in the article you read. But at first it was like I had to have whiskey, like it was just like I have to get to this certain place, and whiskey is always very helpful for that. But then after a while I started realizing like, okay, this is something I can do if I just, really take my time and go deep enough. Like I found my method and my process at home, but yeah, always at home, always by myself.
Yeah, it's like a creative process is kind of like a journey into yourself, no?
Yeah.
And probably, at the beginning when you need a little more confidence to dig into yourself, probably like inebriation can be good, no?
Yeah.
But then if you wanna do this as part of your life,
right.
You cannot be inebriated all the time to make music. You can. Depends.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, don't they?
Yeah, I think so. But depends also the results. Probably if they do it like and they have somebody else that fix it, because even like Hemingway was saying like, write drunk, edit sober, no? So there is like a moment when you, I have a Greek mythology background, no? So like Dionysus is the god of wine, and Apollo is the god of the sun, no? So it's like a mix, no? You have like inebriation and the sun, like the night and the day. So kind of like find the balance.
Find the balance always. Yeah.
On it. Okay. Well, besides that, so. Let's talk a little bit about the singing in the church. Was kind of like I grew up in a Sicilian Catholic school, no, but it was nothing fancy, no gospel thing. It was kind of like a gospel singing, like I don't know. I never seen like singing in church besides like few songs like the students were singing.
Right, yeah.
So how it is like it's like a gospel thing.
Yes, gospel.
Okay.
very emotional.
Okay.
It was really beautiful, actually. I really did love it because, at the time, like I really believed that was the only way to God, know? And since I was a child, like even when I was really young, my parents would tell me like the different tenets of Christianity and of the Bible, the different like things that, that held it up, the beliefs that you had to believe in. And I didn't fully believe in everything. I had questions and but one thing I always knew was I believed that there's God inside of me, and so Christianity kind of painted a picture of what God looked like. And I found that to be untrue. But so when it comes to worship in the church, people really were seeking God, and people were really trying to get God. And, they really believed that this music was a way to God, And so when anybody believes anything, I mean, humans have a way of manifesting whatever they think of, like our entire world is somebody's idea, So, the worship was really beautiful, and it really was people's, like, you could see people like putting their hearts on the outside of themselves. So that was something I really loved, and something that I think I carry with me, with my music, even if my music, some of my music, especially now, is about, sex and love and my experiences with that. But even in that, I think it's holy,
Yeah.
So the worship was, it was really cool. So I led worship. I think there's probably about 20 of us in the band completely. There was usually like a 7 to 10 vocalists, and then the whole band about 10 to 15. And it was so fun. I mean, the people.
It's an orchestra.
Yeah, it's music, so it's like, and everybody's so talented. And gospel musicians are like, whoo, they're the best musicians.
Yeah.
So we had so much fun, and it was really beautiful, and it was just, it was. The content is no longer something that I'm.
But the elevation, like the spirituality, in singing, probably you still have this, and you found this back in the day, and you still carry this.
Yeah,
no?
yeah, absolutely.
It's it's a elevation moment when you're on stage, when you sing. When I was telling you before, when we started the radio show, the adrenaline of like doing the radio in time, and probably you have on stage as well, no? And this is like something that it's hard to go without, like create addiction, something like that. Yeah. So from that you moved, you change, turn the page, close the chapter, new chapter of your life.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And this EP is representing like your new life. I mean, kind of, no new life. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like, these weren't things that like I'm not trying to say I was a perfect little Christian girl. I definitely tried once I went to the college, and at that point I told myself
we are human. We don't go for perfection.
Perfection. Yeah, that's the wrong.
And what is perfection? It's something like that doesn't belong to humanity. No, you want to be perfect. How come? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, sorry for that.
Oh no, that's right. Perfection, it doesn't belong to you, so it's like you can never attain it. So yeah, these themes. I mean, they've been with me throughout my life. Like I've been like super boy crazy since I was young, and at this point in my life, like throughout my life. So these themes were definitely always with me. But now it's like, now I can actually express myself how I see fit, And if the people, I think I've thought about this before, and it doesn't keep me up at night, it doesn't bother me, but just to see the difference in how far I've come, I think about the music that I make now and what the people I was involved. I mean, the church I was involved with was like 5,000 people. It was one of those mega churches. Okay. So I think sometimes I have thought about how what they would think, when they see this, and what they used to say about people who, made music like this, and it's interesting to me how there was this divide, and how I've been divided from that, but in doing so, I've been able to really find and express myself. So this music is definitely, for me, it's huge, because sex has always been a really big part of my life, and for me to be able to really thoroughly like dive into it, express it, figure out, you know, be able to like face my traumas and my issues and the things that I don't agree with, and be able to separate, like peel those things off of myself. I have to face it and be in it, you know? And I wasn't allowed to do that before. So this definitely is like an expression of worship to me, for me, you know, all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so let's try to do like a timeline of you like going to open mics and then like working on your music to all the way to I see you had you play like many shows,
right? Yeah.
In these few years, no?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you end up, but this is just like another step of your life. But you know, you released like your debut EP 3 days ago.
Yeah.
4 days ago, the 23rd, no?
Yeah.
So let's try to do like a timeline, no?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, like I saw you were doing like an undercover, the Lauryn Hill, Miseducation of Lauryn Hill undercover in...
Yeah, so I moved to Oakland in 2013, early 2013, and then really laid low. Like whenever I go to a new city, I like to lay low and get to know people and find out, you know, everyone's way of life there, and not really disrupt, you know, and just come in. So I laid low for about a year, and then in spring of 2014, a good friend of mine, or was it the fall of 2013? Somewhere around there, a good friend of mine took me to this open mic at this house. It's a gallery now, actually, called Spirit House Gallery. It's in West Oakland. And so I went there, and that's where I had that like really incredible spiritual experience. And it was the first time I revisited music since leaving the church. And I had like the most incredible time. So that was like, you know, late 2013, early 2014. And then the same friend who took me there, Zakiya Zazaboy, incredible artist. Her, along with my sister, we started this thing called Suru Basement Series. And it was this, it's basically like a local open mic. It was an open mic, and we also brought like, we featured artists who were local. There's just so much talent in Oakland. So we were just like so excited about it. And we started that. And so Zakiya was like, well, why don't you perform? And I was like, okay. And so I was like, okay, my friend Gavin Grant, who's also I'm surrounded by incredible artists, but he helped me build some tracks. And I think I had 3 songs. I was like, okay, I'm going to write 3 songs. I wrote 3 songs in 2 months, and then I performed, and that was the beginning of my journey. So since then, I just started, started getting different shows and gigs. So the Lauryn Hill tribute with the Undercover, that was actually through a band. I'm a part of this crew called Sun Descendants, a group of incredible black musicians in the East Bay from out of Oakland, and one out of Santa Cruz. So there's there are a bunch of different musicians, but we've come together as a collective. So 2 folks out of that, Free, a band called Free, they invited me to be a part of the Undercover with them. So they were the ones who got that gig, and then I was blessed enough to be a part of that. That was really, really cool. There were so many beautiful artists. My brother was actually a part of it, Noah Kibadab. He goes by Noah and the Architects. Bluesy, jazzy, soul pop kind of feel. Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, you were backing vocals for him too, no?
Yeah, I sang background vocals for him for a long time. Yeah. So always supporting someone else's. I'm like, you have a purpose? Okay, let me support you until I find my purpose, you know? Okay. Yeah, so, and then just kept performing, and then I realized, like, if I want to go any further, I have to have a project. I have to have something that I can give people, you know. People want something to take home, and you know, people kept asking me, when, you know, where can I get this? Where can I get that? And I didn't have it for them. So this past year, probably this past year and a half, I kept saying, I'm going to have a project out. I'm going to have a project out. And at first I wanted to have it out by the summer, and that wasn't feasible. So I released a single called Ghost and a video. And then I gave myself a deadline. I was like, you're going to go for 100%, but if you end up with 80, it's okay, which is huge for me because, you know, it's like that perfection thing, you know, I have that so ingrained in my mind. So yeah. I told myself 80% is good enough. And I feel 100% though. I really do. I feel so good about this project. And I told myself it has to be out by the spring of 2018. And so I did it. Yeah, with the help of so many amazing people, but I did it, and it feels so good.
There are 7 songs, 5 interludes, or the other way around.
Yeah,
like
so there's 5 interludes, which are like conversations that I had with me and my girlfriends, and then I have 1 song interlude, and then 6 songs. So okay, let me say that again. So 6 songs, 5 conversations, 1 song interlude.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think it's like 27 minutes long. I think 26 minutes long. Okay. The whole EP.
And it's available on the digital platform.
Yeah,
it's
all
on
streaming
Spotify.
platforms. Yeah. Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, SoundCloud. Yeah, everywhere.
You're gonna perform some song out of it?
Yeah, okay. I'd be happy to.
Sounds great. You wanna play some song you're not gonna perform out of the album, so we can get ready in the meanwhile?
Sure,
for
yeah.
Live performance.
Let's see, what song? The first song, Son of California.
Okay.
This song is, it's basically about, this whole EP has to do with like generational patterns, like patterns that our generation goes through. And this song in particular is kind of about like this obsession we have with being superstars, with being famous. And it's different than the past generations, I think, because we have access to it now, with social media and everything. And so like I've witnessed how social media and my phone can control my life. So I guess I just kind of had frustrations about it. And so like this is just kind of how I...
And we are not in Los Angeles, though, huh?
No, we're not.
Los Angeles,
can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine. I know. I don't want to even think about it. All right. So it's going to play Son of California.
Okay.
Astu, BFF.FM.
Super superstar, super superstar, super superstar, super superstar, super superstar, super superstar. Super superstar, super superstar, super superstar, super superstar, super superstar, super superstar.
I see your face on many screens, flashing me. Wouldn't you think the light beams would keep you warm? Everybody's looking at you. Everybody wants to know. Do you go? Can I follow? Who do you know? Who did your video? Who do you owe? Got any dough? How do you go?
superstar. Super superstar. Super superstar. Super superstar.
All right, that was Son of California with the obsession of being a superstar. You know, like you were right, especially with social media, like you know, can create like kind of like whirlpool, like spiral, downward spiral of frustration mostly, you know. But you know, we are not in Los Angeles yet, so
right.
So at least
it's just about a balance, you know.
Yeah, find a balance with using them, or like don't let them use you as use them as a tool.
Right.
All right, let's go back to your story, Astu.
Okay.
So why you choose? Is your given name Astu? You choose this name?
So Astu is a nickname actually my family gave me.
Okay.
My niece in Oklahoma, I think she just turned 8 years old. She always calls me Auntie Astu, which my name is, English pronunciation is Esther.
Okay.
But Tigrinya, the way we pronounce it in Tigrinya, which I'm Eritrean, which is Eastern African country, small country. So the way we pronounce it is Aster. So Astu, all names you can be given. Another nickname could be Astie, so we always put an ending like U or ie. So Astu is just like a family nickname, and it just felt so right. You know, I never really felt super connected to the name Esther, and even Aster didn't feel like a full connection to it, but I accepted it. You know, but the moment my niece said Astu, it was just like. It just felt so right, and I was like, "Well, that's the name I want to share with the world." Then,
and also, you know, it's good to keep like to have like a self-awareness of our heritage. You know, even if we live like in a globalized world, like in a multicultural country, but also we are like to a certain degree, not all, but our past, and it's good like to keep the good thing of our origin, no?
Yeah.
In the even in the art that we make, no, in our work.
Yeah, can never forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't forget yourself.
Yeah. So, are you gonna perform?
Yes.
Yes.
So this is the title track, actually.
Okay.
It's called Patterns, and I wrote this song about a love. Like I really fell in love pretty hard over the past 2 years, and so a lot of my music, most of my music, has been this person has been a muse for most of the music that I've written. And this song I wrote about this person, and after I wrote it, I realized like, whoa, like I've said these same things about lovers past, and there's actually nowhere in the song where it says patterns, but I recognize like, oh man, this is my pattern. Of giving up myself to find love. And so that's pretty much what the whole P is like, trying to get past, you know, finding the self-love within. And so
or probably, you know, like it's a way that, like, you are aware of these patterns that you fell into it all the time. So probably like if you think about it, probably you can you know, like escape those patterns and maybe like start new ones, or like, you know,
keep myself aware, keep myself looking at myself always.
Yes. All right, so you're gonna perform. Astu is gonna perform Patterns live here, BFF.FM.
Different digits, and every time I call I'm the fool. I'll play the game. I am the joker, and you are my king. Every time it hurts so bad, still I come back. Still I come back to you. Still I come back. Sure. there can't be nobody else. Wait till we break into stars in the sky, then you'll be mine. If you ever wanna come back, if you ever wanna come back to me, if you ever wanna come back, if you ever wanna come back to me, if you ever wanna come back, if you ever wanna come back to me, if you ever wanna come back, if you ever wanna come back to me, come back to me, come back to me, come back to me, come back to me. Come back to me. Come back to me. Come back.
Who? Astu live BFF.fm.
Thank you.
That was Sputter. Yeah, I can hear the silky texture. I mean, it's very sexy music. You know?
Thank you, thank you,
yes.
thank you.
And, you know, like, I mean, if he's not going to come back, somebody else is going to come. No worries. So, you know, okay,
Yes.
what can I do? You know, like,
Right, they're not coming back. I
Yeah.
can tell you that much, but
yeah,
it's good.
you know, somebody else
It's all
will.
good, yeah.
Somebody else will. No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. Cool. Yeah, so, like, the whole album is this R&B, soulful, sexy music,
Yeah,
no?
yeah.
And like you said, Davud Antonino was the producer, so he played all the instruments and
Yeah.
made the beats, and okay.
Yeah, he's incredible. One song, Roots, was co-produced by Chris Keys, who's an incredible producer out in the East Bay in Oakland, and Dawood Anthony.
Okay.
But the rest of it was all Dawood. Yeah.
Cool. And so let's talk about a little bit of the environment, no? So the scene, the music scene in Oakland. So far, like, you sounds very enthusiastic of being there, no? Being
Yes.
part of the community.
Yes. I'm so grateful I was accepted into the community in Oakland. It's like, I remember when I first got there, you know, I kind of always felt, I grew up in San Jose, California, right near Campbell, California, which, you know, it's just, I had some really beautiful friendships there and still do to this day from such a young age. But I never really felt like I belonged there, you know. It's like it's a very like prominent, you know, it's a pretty wealthy area. My mom worked 2 to 3 jobs to like keep us in the area. You know, we'd shop. I remember me and my sister we'd go shopping like we were the best at shopping because we could make, you know, $100 stretch and all the discounts. We knew when all the sales were, you know, and we tried to keep up, but it was really emotionally really tough growing up there. And then I moved to Tulsa, Oklahoma for school, and once again, didn't feel right, you know. I moved to Oakland, and it was like, I had no idea. I had no idea that not only could I be accepted, but I could be celebrated, you know. And so Oakland for me is like the most special place in the world. It is like the place where it gave me the amount of love that I needed to be able to look at myself, you know, and have forgiveness for myself and love for myself. And so, yeah, Oakland is incredible. The music scene there is just, it's amazing. There are so many incredible, like innovative artists of all kinds of music. They're everywhere. Everyone I met was a musician, you know, and I think it's and really good at what they did too, you know. You meet a lot of musicians who are, you know, it's like, I feel like, especially nowadays with the advancement of technology, everybody wants to be a musician, which I'm all for it, you know, like, I think everybody should be able to express themselves through music. But in Oakland, it's like a really high caliber of art, which is, you know, people who put a lot of time into, you know, it's not just the talent, it's like a lot of time that people put in. So And there's like a huge social justice movement that, you know, obviously comes out of Oakland. They have a history of social justice, but that comes out in the music, which was also kind of like the perfect place for me to land because people really, really felt what I had to say, you know, and felt my music because it did have, the purpose was, you know, it's definitely for me, but in the end, I wanted to uplift other people who need that, you know, so Oakland.
So was you found the perfect environment for you, and Oakland found you as a perfect newcomer, no?
Yeah.
So probably it was a mutual factor, right?
Yeah, definitely. It was, the acceptance was just like, I can't even begin to express how grateful I am for Oakland. Yeah.
And you did the EP release party in Oakland.
Yes.
It was like the 22nd. Yeah?
The 22nd, yeah.
Okay,
So the day before the release.
Before?
It was in East Oakland at Red Bay Coffee headquarters. This huge warehouse, so beautiful, gorgeous place. They do a lot of events there, and they were amazing. Yeah, it was, and Oakland showed up. Yeah.
Cool.
It was great.
Cool. And you're still performing. You're still promoting. You have a show today. You said, no?
Yeah, actually, I'm performing a short set at Airbnb, the headquarters. They have for Black History Month. They have it's called Buy Black, and so they have like this kind of like marketplace of different Black business owners, small business owners in the area. So I'm going to be doing a set alongside Aphrodisiac. She's an amazing DJ. At Airbnb today at 5:00.
Okay, so after this you go straight.
I hope so. Yeah.
Good. No. Yes.
Oh yes. After this.
After this.
Absolutely.
This show ends at 4. So
yeah.
It's already 2:44. So.
Oh wow.
Cool. So it's like I mean, I'm glad that you're gonna do a little preview here, and then you're gonna perform over there. No?
Right. Yeah.
Cool. And do you have other shows lined up?
I do. Yeah, I have 2 shows right now, and we're actually working on getting more lined up. But right now, I'm going to be performing at this really, really cool event called Smart Bomb. They have it every month at the Legionnaire Saloon in Oakland.
Okay.
Smart Bomb is an incredible collective of beat makers, artists, producers, and they have like, I feel like they're like one of the most forward-thinking communities in Oakland. Really, really musically talented and artistically talented. So I'm going to be performing there for their anniversary, their 5-year anniversary, the March 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, at Legionnaire Saloon. And then my crew Sun Descendants is, we got this grant, this grant to put on this event called Contagious Spirit. And it's basically an event celebrating the courage and the innovation of Black women. So that is going to be at Betty Ono on March 31st at 7:00. Shout out to Sun Descendants. Yeah, so those are the next 2 lined up, and then we're booking some more.
So you're more, because you're promoting your EPE. So
yeah. I hope to just travel, tour. That's like all I want to do right now. Yeah.
And it's gonna happen. You know, you work for it, and it's gonna happen. You know, there's a lot of work though.
Yeah. The work continues, most definitely.
Yeah, I mean, the work just began. You know?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm like I'm tired, but nope, gotta keep going.
Yeah, you know, I have a lot of artists here. I invite them for their first release, no, and you know, it's there is excitement in making it.
Yeah.
And also, you know, there is also excitement in pushing it, like to let people know about it, like to let know about your music. So, you know, it's
yeah, it is exciting.
It's an exciting time.
Yeah, I would love to just do that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the goal, right? Is to get to a point where financially you're supported enough to where you can just do your music.
Just play music and perform.
Advertise and whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, we're working for that. So, you know, in the meanwhile.
It's coming.
In the meanwhile, we play music, no? You want to perform another song?
Sure. Yeah? This next song is called Roots.
Roots, okay.
Mm-hmm. And this one was produced by Chris Keys and Dawood Anthony. And this one is just basically about my frustrations as a Black woman, and sometimes getting to the point where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Like, I'm just done. But yeah, so that's what this one's about.
All right, Astu live, BFF.fm, Roots.
So what they lost, a blue one again. But the ashes been black and the red blaze on my skin. I oppressed scarlet letter, now the shit burned from within. So I pray to a white God, purify me, make me new again. These systems are failing, we fight. Bless our souls. Can a black rose grow from concrete or high? I don't know. These systems are failing, we fight. Bless our souls. Can a black rose grow from concrete or high? I hope so. I ain't gonna put roots down again. All I do is pull up. I'm a fool if I think I can. I ain't gonna put roots down again. All I do is pull up. I'm a fool if I think I can. Sister, dear brother, do you feel for your mother? Do you feel one another? Do you feel like the other? We ain't undercover. We out here like fuck it. We ain't undercover. And we out here like fuck it. These systems are failing, we fight. Bless our soul. Can a black rose grow? Can a black rose grow? I ain't gonna put roots down again. All I do is pull up. I'm a fool if I think I can. I ain't gonna put roots down again. All I do is pull up. I'm a fool if I think I can. A rose is in blooming. I'm so strong. Yeah, everyone tells me so, but I keep it moving. Why plant a seed if it won't grow? I ain't gonna put roots down again. All I do is pull up. I'm a fool if I think I can. I ain't gonna put roots down again. All I do is pull up. I'm a fool if I think I can. All I do is pull up, baby, baby. All I do is pull up lately. All I do is pull up, baby, baby, oh. I'm a fool if I'm a fool if I think I can.
Astu live, BFF.fm. That was Roots.
Yes, Roots.
Yes. Let's talk about like your influence, your inspiration, like, artist. What are you listening? Let's actually, what were you listening to today while you drove here?
I was listening to SZA.
Okay.
And sometimes it's interesting. Sometimes I will just I'll just like drive and I'll have nothing on. So I did that today because I had such a hectic morning.
Okay.
So sometimes when I have a hectic morning, I'm just like, you know.
You don't need music. You just, yeah, I know.
Yeah, just drive with a cigarette and no music, just chill out. But then as I got closer to the studio, I was like, okay, let me get a little more hype. So I put on SZA, who I love. I think she's such an incredible artist. I love her melodies. I love, you know, but the main thing I really love about her is that she has no qualms about being completely who she is. And she's not worried about how people are going to see her. You know, like basically this latest album, what most people got out of it is that she, you know, she talks about being a side chick. And that is like supposed to be a really shameful thing. You know, all of us women have experienced that. And so we try and hide that, you know. Yeah. But she was like, nah, I'm just going to be out here with it. Like, this is the reality of like our situation, how we're supposed to get past it if we're not going to talk about it. So I love her honesty. I love her melodies. She's an incredible like lyricist and writer. So I was listening to her. I was jamming out. She makes me feel like a lady.
Yeah. And what else in like something that was like very influential for you?
Yeah, I'd say growing up, a friend of mine who I grew up with, his father was really influential. One time he handed me, he's since passed, and so rest in peace. But he one time I remember when I was really young, and he handed me this CD, and on it just said Ella Fitzgerald's greatest hits. Okay. But it wasn't really her greatest hits. It was just his favorites, you know. And so I remember I used to play that. I couldn't, like, when I heard the music, I was just, like, shocked, you know, and in awe. Ella Fitzgerald had so much to do for me when it came to melody and, like, feeling and really, like, allowing, like, the resonance to, like, to bring out what you were feeling inside. So Ella Fitzgerald, Misty is one of my favorite songs by her. I think that's pretty popular, though, but Misty is a huge one for me. See some other influences. I grew up, my brother and my dad were obsessed with Jimi Hendrix, so I grew up listening to Jimi Hendrix. I love Jimi Hendrix. The Wind Cries Mary is probably my favorite song. Pink Floyd was a huge influence in my life as I grew up. I think Pink Floyd really influenced me when it came to creating a landscape, a soundscape, you know? Like I love creating an environment when it comes to music. And I want people to feel more than, like, if I had to choose between people like grooving and like really enjoying themselves and feeling, I would choose feeling. Okay. So Pink Floyd was huge for me on that. Wish You Were Here is my favorite song by Pink Floyd. And then currently, over the past, since I've really started my own personal music journey, my biggest influence has been Frank Ocean. I think Frank Ocean is a prophet. Like, listening to his music, I have healed so much of, like, that's so much of my own trauma by listening to his music over and over and over and like really meditating. He's melodically like a genius. The way that he paints a picture for listeners, the way that he takes people into his own experiences, like, he's so unique. Like, his lyrics are so unique. They're so poetic. I think if he didn't have any music, just his lyrics would be enough, you know? But then he adds the melody and like the way that he moves through his background tracks, which I think he's a piano player, so he helps create a lot of that. He's just like definitely my top guy, Frank Ocean.
You know, I have a song actually. Mm-hmm. Like, actually, it's a bootleg, but from Captain Planet. Is a great producer. Evie, you know the song?
You said it was called?
Evie.
Evie.
I-V-Y.
Oh, yes.
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 Let's play it real quick.
Yeah.
And then we go back on the talk.
Sure.
All right. So you're listening to BFF.FM. This is Espresso Sesh. My name is Nino. Astu is in the room with me.
Hello.
And we're having a great time. Now it's time to play some Frank Ocean, like she suggested. We have the Evie here for you in Captain Planet bootleg. right.
Yes,
We are back
Frank Ocean.
in the studio with some Frank Ocean
Yes.
bootleg remix by Captain Planet. All right. I'm excited for you to perform another song.
Yeah.
If you want, if you like.
Yeah. This song is called Paper Heart, and it's basically at a point, I get fed up with my situation in love, and the lover does something that's. I feel like people are always doing something wrong nowadays. Like, I mean, I think it's just we've gotten to the point in love where it's like we don't want any responsibility, but what we don't realize is any relationship you make, you have a responsibility to the person, whether it's your, cousin, brother, sister, lover, friend. And with love, with your lover, it's like you have added additional responsibilities. You're physically intimate, you share all these things emotionally, but people just want to be like, oh, I don't have any responsibility to you, though. I don't want any responsibility. So this song was me just being really frustrated and basically talking about cutting somebody and being really angry. So the song is, Paper Heart.
Paper Heart.
I got two faces, one like the handlebar. No one wants to see it, but I'ma have to set it off. You love breaking hearts, you feel your power over me. This soft heart go hard, I'ma make you pay. This paper heart gon' cut you. I gotta pay for heart attack so easy. I gotta pay for hard to cut so fast. You got a pen to paint your love upon me. I'm like a canvas blanket color. Smile, 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 smile. You better leave your way. You better give it up. You better find another game. Baby, I had enough. You could be my lover, my brother, my friend. You choosing heartbreaker, so you wanna play with paper hearts. I gotta pay the heart attack so easy. I gotta pay the heart to cut so fast. You got a pen to paint your love upon me. I'm like a canvas like your colors. Smile, 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 smile.
Who? Astu Live, BFF.fm. This was Paper Heart. Also, you know, the like you said before, no, like you had no idea how to make music and stuff, but you had something to say.
Right.
So that's great. That you know, like the will to make things, like make you do things. no?
Right, right.
So you know,
Yeah.
like it's the because you know we have like powerful tools in our hand. Even like with the phone, you can make beats and you
Right.
can sing along. So the most important thing that we need are the ideas, and the motivation also. Because you can have an idea that is great, but if you don't put it like, if you don't realize it, like don't
Yes.
like turn into a project, for example,
Right.
stays an idea, no?
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
I appreciate this in you, like
Thank
that
you.
that you know, like you face yourself, you like transform your life from before, like, and then like you kind of like expose yourself, no, even like with the heartbreaks, and you know, it's you're putting yourself out there, and you're
Right.
giving even like a big part of you, no,
Yeah.
and you're making it happen because there are people like you, so your music can resonate to other people, no?
Right, right.
That have the same issue, no? And you're going through kind of the same phases, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you know, like big up
Thank you.
for
Thank you so much.
you know, like getting out there and like you know, put yourself like on a spot, no, to a certain point. So you know,
Thank you. Yeah. It definitely, I think it definitely took courage. And I think I sometimes I forget how much courage it took because, you know, I tend to be that kind of person when I'm in something, I'm all in it, and I kind of forget everything else around, because I'm so focused on that one thing that I'm trying to manifest or trying to get past or whatever. So sometimes I forget like how much it took for me to get to this point, you know. But I think that's the most important thing is to remember, so that you always kind of, I don't know, so you give yourself like some credit, you know. It's really important to like, yeah, critique yourself and look at yourself, but also to like pat yourself on the back, you know, and like, and allow yourself to feel the joy of it. So, yeah, I really appreciate that. You know, I do think it's a big deal, but it's hard, you know, we're so hard on ourselves. It's hard to see it all the time. So it's really nice to hear it.
yeah, you know, and also you know, it takes a little courage to to start, no? But once you start and you are assessed, it's like kind of going downhill. It's easier. The ride will get easier. No?
Yes, yeah.
The beginning is like, oh, it's gonna be impossible, no? But then, you know.
Yeah. It was really. It took me so long to start it, but I'm so like I kind of feel like it all happened at the right time, you know, even though I had these dreams my whole life. I feel like I say the right time because it was like everything was in place. Like I had to get past certain things and certain beliefs about myself. I had to be in the right physical place, you know, like all these things had to happen for me to get to the point where I could give this music out. And not only that, but I could express myself fully, you know, which is kind of like the only way I really want to express myself, you know. I agree. Starting is the hardest part. But once you start, it's finding that energy and that courage to start. And then once you start, it's just like everything, it just comes easier. You know, I mean, it's still hard work, but the motivation to do it comes easier, which I think is, like you're saying, the most important part. Yeah.
It's like they say, showing up is half of the battle.
Yeah.
No? Like starting a project, putting yourself like on a spot and...
yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Starting is half the battle.
Let's play another song from the EP.
Sure. So this, I think, is the last...
No, from the EP, not live.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. So there's 2 songs left. There's the interlude, So Good, and then there's Love Lesson. So I think So Good would be a good...
So Good, okay. You want to introduce it?
Yeah, So Good is... so the lyrics to So Good are... So I've been cussing. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay,
it's
cool,
okay.
cool.
No worries.
Okay, just making sure because this one's kind of graphic. So Good. It says the lyrics they're hard to understand. We fall from love. We fall from love. We're far from love. But the pussy's so good. The pussy's so good. And then it continues on. And then there's a chorus, like a vocal, like choir, singing, "Will never be enough." And so for me, this song was really, it was another side to this like relationship that I've repeated in my life, where it's like I want to be loved and I want to be in love, you know, and I always start out on this pedestal where my lover is like, you're amazing, you're perfect, like, you know, we connect and we're almost saving each other, you know, and then I do something fucked up or nothing at all, you know, it can be anything. It's just, I'm human and I just be human and I fall from the pedestal, you know, but then it seems like after that, sex is still a part of it for a while, you know, like I think we all kind of go through it, but like sex is still a part of it for a while and you're like trying to hold on with sex. And so it's like, we're falling from love, but the pussy's so good. And like, and you know, it's like I'm reduced to just being this like this physical entity that, you know, is, and I don't want to say used, because I also have done the same thing, you know, been on the other side, you know, but basically we end up like using each other's bodies to feel something that we can only really get from ourselves, you know, like that real love. So at the end, you know, it's like this choir of, and it was me, but I was singing it, trying to like, I tried to make it sound like as young and like pure as possible, like childlike as possible, but it's will never be enough. It's like that, like fear inside that's like, you know, is anyone ever going to love me, like really truly love me? Is anyone ever going to really truly see me? You know, and then but I definitely come to a place at the on the last song, Love Lessons, which we'll listen to later, that is the place I've kind of like chosen to reside now and live from. But this is one of the low points that I've, you know, repeated throughout my life. So
to these patterns that are the recurring patterns.
Yeah.
All right, let's listen to So Good, the interlude, Astu.
But the pussy's so good.
Yeah, we are not like it's not a matter of like using each other. Like it's I don't know. There is no like a recipe. There is no like a thing that applies to each case.
Absolutely.
Each case is different, but like I think you kind of like set a kind of like a frank zone. No, like when it's like that, like no compromise. No.
Yeah.
So it's also, like a sign of the times, no? Like these days, people don't want to commit or people don't want to like go in, like, because like we say before, like the social media, the fact everybody want to be a star, like always we think that, included me, we think like, oh, this is not good enough, or like we always like have like a kind of like sick model, like ideal of our lover, like and then like we struggle between like the real life and the ideal life, and we are looking for something that is not in real life, but we pretend it's gonna be in real life. I mean, I'm talking on mostly like on a personal point of view, no? I'm telling you about my experience. So we sometimes fell into these patterns that like you say before, but pussy's so good, no? So I feel you.
Yeah, and I think you're right. Like it's absolutely not a generalized, like you can't put that on everyone and our entire generation. I think it's more so like I almost think of them as, and this sounds kind of weird, but almost think of them as like sicknesses, like there is like what is the thing that's maybe not everyone, but what's the thing that's keeping us from feeling whole and like full of love? And I mean, there's so many factors in the world, like our world, there's just like so many issues. But this one was just like one of the sicknesses that I felt like I was experiencing in my soul. And I watched a lot of my friends experience too, and, I think too, like there are like polygamous relationships that work. There are like, even commitment, even when I say commitment, like I think a lot of the times our generation is really afraid because we were told this is the way it should be, like these Christian Judeo, like one man marries one woman and like, that's it. That's what love looks like. And we're like, okay, that can't be true. Like, first of all, you guys didn't even set that example for us. Like our generation experienced so much like divorce and, it's like. Yeah,
like number, like 75%.
Right. Like it's hard 80%, to find.
So, yeah.
And we watch not only the divorce, but we watch like the way that they treated each other and, so we're like, okay, that's not it.
Or
I don't want
the domestic violence that is, so it's real shit.
Yeah, real shit. And so when we saw that, we were like, okay, we're not doing that. We're going to go the full end of the spectrum, other end of the spectrum, which is totally normal. Like that's when change happens, we see that, like that's usually what ends up happening is people are, first of all, there's so much courage in turning away from what you've known, but admitting it's wrong. So we've run to like the other end of the spectrum, but now I think it's just like about finding our way back to like a middle ground. And that doesn't necessarily have to mean marriage or even being in a committed relationship. But I think it does have to mean still understanding that there is a relationship, and still honoring that and honoring each other as people and as like holy beings, and that doesn't, I think that just means communication and openness and like still love, like still care, and still just be honest with each other.
Also, you can find what's better fits you, no?
Right.
Because, like, as like we said before, like each one is different.
Yes.
And there is not like a way that applies to, like they want to say like one man, one woman, that's
right.
The rest of your life, that's it.
Yeah.
So find yourself what's for you, no?
Right.
And
so important.
That goes along with the self-awareness and getting to know yourself and getting to know what do you want and what are you going for, no?
Yeah. Yeah, finding out what you want, I think, is the biggest thing.
Yeah, it takes a while. It takes
Yeah,
a while.
it takes time.
There is no rush.
Yeah,
probably.
we
You
can
know,
just
like,
help each other along.
yes, you know, like just don't forget about it. But don't be stressed if
Right.
you haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's gonna come
Yeah, that's great.
eventually. All right, Astu, let's play some music right now.
Sure.
Let me see. So we start the show with a couple of songs. Let me see real quick here. All right, some Afrobeat real quick. This Casey Man and his Carousel 7. Oh, this going. All right. You listen to Espresso Sesh, Astu in the house. Play some music and we back on the interview.
Asapu beson ma, asapu beson wonya kwa wabo kwa pa. Aye. Asapu beson wonya nyimo botu apa. Aye. Wonya yiro beso apa. Aye. Wonya kuro beso apa. Aye. Abrunyo. Aye. Abrunyo. Aye. Asabu beson, in your masabu beson when you come one more pampa. Aye. Asabu beson, when you more but wampa. Aye, when you grow bezampa. Aye, when you are pampa. Aye. Aye, you aye, aye, yo. So I'm young for you want to be so young for I'm young for
come from, baby? Where did you go? Love doesn't last forever, but I didn't know. Call on the spirits, call on the saints, call on the wise ones, call on the saints. Your ghost is still here. Your ghost is still here. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with loving you. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with loving you. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. I'm not done. Oh, the love burned down like a house to the ground. This love burned down like a house to the ground. Nobody's coming, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming, nobody's coming to save you. You and I, you and I. Yes, your ghost is still here. Your ghost is still here. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with loving you. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with loving you. Fall back, tie your back up. Wait a minute. Pull back, don't look back up. Now you're in it. Fall back, run it back up. Can we get a new beginning? Can we get a new beginning? I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with loving you. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done, I'm not done, done. I'm not done with loving. I'm not done with loving you.
And yes, here we are back, BFF.FM Espresso Sesh with Astu. There was a ghost.
Yes.
We just play out of a YouTube video. I see you are collaborating a lot with Pablo Circa.
Yeah.
For your picture, for your videos.
Yeah, Pablo Circa is an incredible photographer, videographer, and he and I have worked together pretty much, I mean, almost since the beginning of this past 2-year journey that I've been on with music. He, right from the get, always really supported me, believed in me. We used to just kind of do passion projects, and then, it was always with the goal. I remember one of the first times we hung out and we met, we're like, let's go on a European tour. Yeah. We didn't even have I think I had 3 songs written. He's also a musician. and we're like, let's do it. And so I think we're still working towards that, but we're taking all the steps necessary to get there.
Together, cool.
Yeah. So PabloCirca.com. He is so talented.
It's part of the community in Oakland, no?
Yeah.
That you found, no?
Yes.
And they found you. So
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
are like,
Aligned.
aligned, no?
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. It's definitely a blessing because, especially nowadays, like images, videos, they're so important for as an artist. Like you kind of have to, you have to have that. And so I had found somebody who like our creative energies match so well. So very grateful for Pablo Circa.
It's good that you find like a videographer and a producer, no?
Yeah.
So because you need people that can translate your ideas into vision and music, and it's good to have somebody that you can trust. That so
Yeah.
because they know who you are and where you're coming from and where are you going, so
Yeah.
they can like with a little more cold approach because it's not their material. It's not like what they've written there or who they are.
Right.
So they can like look at you from distance and like
Yeah.
work with you.
Yeah, and I think it's really important too as an artist to like give up a little control, which I think was really one of the hardest things for me to do. But they made it really easy because they're so talented and I trust their vision. They have the vision that they have for themselves, and my vision that I have. It's all within like the same. It falls on like the same area, So I felt pretty comfortable. Just really trusting them, which I think it's the biggest thing is the trust between artists
and producer. And once you find them, like you stick with them because the workflow it's easier, and there is knowledge, there is friendship, and also there is respect, and
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
So I guess you are in the making of a new video, no, or something like that.
So, well, we definitely have plans for another video.
Okay.
It's kind of I have this big idea, and so it's going to take a lot more people.
Okay.
Most of my videos have been, it's just been me, or this, Ghost was me and my counterpart, which actually Cam Others, who is a part of Sun Descendants, and also he just dropped four albums on February 19th with his group Tel Cairo. So Cam Others is incredible. So he was a co-producer with Daoud Anthony on Ghost. Okay. And he's the only other person who's ever been in one of my videos.
Okay.
So this next video that I'm wanting to, that I have the idea for, I don't know, it's probably going to include like 30 people. Okay. Or so. So, we're doing some planning for that.
It's pre-production time.
All
right.
Yeah.
Cool. We had a song on the request line. Dave, call us, and also give a reminder to our listener. We take request if we have it, so you can just call us. We have a nice phone over here. The number, I'm going to give it to you in a second. But in the meanwhile, let's listen to this Irka Mateo Corazon featuring La Tirindanga. All right, here we are, Espresso Sesh. Thank you, Antonio.
La vida es un movimiento, nada queda quieto, llega el huracán. Sin miedo por el cambio sigo amando, la vida no se detiene. Soy viajera de la vida, cambio de maleta de estación en estación. Me dejo caer por la corriente de los cielos y vuelo alto. No resista, ten confianza, fluye, fluye con la vida. No resista, ten confianza, fluye, fluye con la vida. No resista, ten confianza, fluye, fluye con la vida. No resista, ten confianza, fluye, fluye con la vida.
No resista, ten confianza. No resista, ten confianza. No resista, ten confianza. No resista. Fluye, fluye.
Corriente de aire te pasa por al lado. Este no es el tiempo de pedir cacao. Agarra bien la rienda que el viaje ya comienza. Abre bien la sala, despliega toda tu fuerza. Cuida con la corriente que aparta del camino. Salta, agáchate, no es ese tu destino. No te dejes engañar, esquiva el movimiento. A los 100% que tú vas a llegar. Disfruta lo vivido, disfruta lo aprendido. No temas al futuro, siente el desenvolvimiento. Todo es un proceso, da gracias a la vida. El futuro te dará un montón de besos. Salta para el vacío, no temas por venir. Nada es permanente, todo llega a su fin. Salimos al programa, aprendemos y jugamos y volvemos para el tren con las maletas en la mano. Ligeras o pesadas, depende de la estación. También cambia el color, oye bien tu corazón. Sigue, sigue, sigue viviendo. Sigue, sigue, sigue aprendiendo. No resista, ten confianza. Fluye, fluye con la vida. No resista, ten confianza. Fluye, fluye con la vida. No resista, ten confianza. Fluye, fluye con la vida. No resista, ten confianza. Fluye, fluye con la vida.
No resista, ten confianza. No resista. Fluye, fluye. No resista, ten confianza. No resista. Fluye, fluye.
And that was Irka Matteo. Thank you, Dave, for the phone call and the recommendation. It was a nice song. I had no idea about it, so that's why we're doing radio, because and that's why we listen to also radio if we are not making actively radio, to find out new artists, new music.
Yeah.
Because there's so much music out there, and you need somebody that does the kind of the filtering, does this job for you,
Right.
to bring the new
It's
stuff.
work.
It's
Yeah.
a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Yes.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing. At least, like.
Yeah.
On the request line, Astu, you had this Moses Sumney, Plastic. Let's listen to this.
I know what it is to be broken and be bold. Tell you that my silver is gold, though I'm much too old for make-believe. And I know what it's like to be whole and not be held. Funny how stomach and fed seems satisfied, 'cause it's swell and swollen, and you got me shooting across the sky like a star. But nobody told me to never let it get too far. You see my silhouette, so you're standing scared of me. So am
And the beautiful sound of Moses Sumney was a request by Astu. It's 3:41, and we kind of like wrap the show up. You have a show today at 5.
Yes, I'm going to be at Airbnb HQ here in San Francisco for the Buy Black Market. I'm going to be doing a short set there, following in between with DJ Aphrodisiac. She's amazing. And yeah, and then my next show is at Smart Bomb on March 17th at Legionnaire Saloon. And the last show this month is going to be at Betty Ono with my group Sun Descendants. The show is called Contagious Spirit. So it's at Benny Ono in Oakland at 7 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
And don't forget to listen to and buy it online. Patterns EP. It's available on like Google Play, Apple Store, like Spotify. You name it, it's there. So just look up for Astu, ASTU, AstuMusic.com.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for performing, for talking about your story, your influence in music.
Thank you. I appreciate this so much.
A pleasure. All right, thank you for listening. Espresso Sesh. Stay tuned on BFF.fm because Astral Projection Radio Hour is coming. Next, thank you so much for listening. We're going to have next week another female artist, actually. February was like all female artists. We started actually on January 30th with the Narcotics from New York. We had like in the whole month female artists. And the next one, Micro Pixie as well, local musician, artist, songwriter. Cool. So see you next time, same station, every Tuesday from 2 to 4. Thank you, Astu, again.
Thank you.
And have a great continuation of your day. Ciao.